I entered an adventure live broadcast. Other female stars are hiding in the male guest's arms, crying. As for me, I patted the film emperor's shoulder and said, "Step aside, let me handle this. I am not talented, but I am a prodigy in the cultivation world. All monsters and demons, get out of my way." 1. When I arrived, the original owner had just been scared to the point of losing control, and was clinging to the male guest. The male guest being held had a look of despair on his face. A row of bullet comments flew across the live broadcast room. "Jessica, are you okay? This isn't how you take advantage of a situation. Is she crazy for wanting to be famous, and now she wants to ship a couple? Who remembers her initial ambition when she first joined the show? It's hilarious if she doesn't have the guts. She shouldn't market herself as a mystic. Mystic persona. Because the original character went to the temple to find her grandfather, and was caught by paparazzi. This was quite novel, so the company took the opportunity to market it. She ended up on this adventure variety show entirely because of this persona. But the original character is timid as a mouse, yet has a big mouth like a dog. Well, she crashed and burned. She got scared by an NPC and jumped onto the male guest, John. John is a popular singer and dancer, exceptionally good-looking, with many female fans. But after all, she is just a mortal, far inferior compared to the beauties of our cultivation world. The little white flower star, Vivian, weakly said, "Jessica, aren't you a master? Why are you still afraid of this?" Her tone was filled with doubt, appearing very innocent. But upon closer thought, this was simply accusing me, creating a false persona. "Oh. I just saw a mouse." I released John and patted my clothes. "Sorry. I got a bit carried away just now." Laughing to death, what a deceiver, full of lies, where did the mouse come from? Lying without changing her expression, pretending as if nothing happened, the road turned dark, so disgusting. Vivian's goal was achieved. The original owner and she came from the same girl group, and later both transitioned into the film and television industry. Naturally, it is inevitable to be compared by others. This time, at the beginning of the show, the original character was at a disadvantage due to the collapse of their persona. Vivian would certainly seize this opportunity to suppress me. Look, she even wants to speak up and further escalate the conflict. I pretended not to hear and walked away directly. 2. I glanced around. This place is an abandoned hospital. I heard that something unsavory happened here before. And it was subsequently sealed off. Over time, it became neglected, and many mysterious rumors emerged. It seems that the rumors are true. There is indeed something here. However, before I came here, I was a genius in the cultivation world. Drawing talismans and performing techniques to ride the clouds was all a piece of cake. Just leaking a bit of true energy would scare away all the malevolent spirits. Unfortunately, this body is not well nurtured, so it's impossible to suppress them with true energy. John frowned and said, "Jessica, let me go instead." Wow, John's boyfriend power is max. Jessica is simply shooting herself in the foot. Ha ha ha, she must be too scared to go in now. It just occurred to me that I have a mission. The production team didn't provide a map. The guests have to dig through the tunnels to find clues themselves. And the size of this tunnel only allows one person to pass through. To be fair, the original host suggested rock, paper, scissors. As a result, luck was not on their side, and they lost, having to crawl through the tunnel. Vivian bit her lip and weakly said, "John, I'll go with you." Ah, the CPI ship is real. Vivian is clearly scared, but still wants to accompany him. I've turned into a fan, sob sob sob, unlike Jessica, who just pretends to be cool. This place is not clean. I said, "Let me go instead." Hindsight. She was just looking around, clearly indicating she didn't want to go, wasting time. Now she's pretending. I just feel speechless. How much trouble does the original host attract? No matter what is said, it is unappealing. Forget it. I also don't like crawling through tunnels. Let them handle this troublesome task. John is already ready to go. I called out to him, wait a moment. We can't really let them get into trouble. We need to draw a protective talisman. But I'm missing something. I asked, who has paper and a pen? Vivian frowned. Jessica, what exactly are you trying to do? The live broadcast has a time limit. We need to act quickly. John's expression was also somewhat impatient. After going around in circles, I finally found paper and a pen from the photographer. No way, is she drawing a talisman? Don't waste everyone's time, this is so ridiculous. Even in this situation, she's still pretending to sell a persona. John couldn't wait, and was the first to dive into the tunnel. Vivian glanced at me, then at him, and also crawled in. By the time I finished drawing the talisman, they had already disappeared without a trace. A puppy-like male guest asked me, what is the use of this talisman? To ward off evil spirits. I sighed, this place is desolate, and the tunnel is often shrouded in darkness, making it easy for unclean things to appear. The production team must have scouted these places. How could there be anything unclean? Is she treating others like fools? This person has a performative personality. Seeing her pretentious demeanor makes me want to vomit. According to her, she knew there were dirty things down there and still let others go. That's just too disgusting. 3. It didn't take long for John and the others to come out with 3 maps. Vivian glanced at the bullet screen and smiled sweetly. This is my first time crawling through a tunnel. It's not scary, it's quite fun. Tom's expression suddenly became subtle. Look, where is there something unclean? This X was almost taken by her. As long as Vivian brings this talisman in, Jessica will definitely say it's her achievement. What a clever little scheme. Fortunately, it didn't succeed. I keenly noticed that John was wearing a piece of jade. This jade of yours has been consecrated, right? He clearly didn't want to say much to me, and replied succinctly. It was given by family, I'm not too sure. I muttered, it should have been opened. TSK. Still trying to make excuses for himself. John is fine, because of the jade. It's because there was originally no problem here, okay. Can Jessica exit the live broadcast? Just seeing this face makes me angry. John spread out the map and said, then let's start dividing into groups now. The guest group consists of 9 people, divided into 3 groups, and there is still one mysterious guest who has not arrived. After grouping, each group will take different routes, and enter different live broadcast rooms to stream. Everyone wants to gain more exposure. Naturally, they want to choose better and more popular teammates. John became quite popular. To be honest, his forehead was dark, and there were cracks on the jade as well. This jade has protected him once, but it may not be able to protect him a second time. Adhering to the principle of saving a life is better than building a 7-story pagoda, I raised my hand when he was selecting team members. But he directly skipped over me. Ha ha ha, seeing Jessica get embarrassed makes me happy. Fortunately, John didn't choose her otherwise. I wouldn't want to go to his live stream. Still want to ride on our John's coattails. No way, just look at yourself. John chose Vivian. I silently lowered my hand. I actually anticipated this outcome. The original host had participated in the same variety show as John back then. The 2 companies had been in contact, saying they wanted to bundle the CP. The original character has many black fans, and John, fearing to attract trouble, refused. But the original character can't keep things hidden. She just happens to like John, and when the host was teasing them on the show, she took the opportunity to express her admiration. After the show aired, the company further fueled the hype, and the couple became a real thing. John was very angry, and posted a clarification. This post caused a stir, and all his girlfriend fans came to attack the original character. They said she likes to rely on men to get ahead, and told her not to get involved for no reason. The original character's path of being both hated and popular only grew further apart from here. Vivian looked at me with an apologetic expression. I'm sorry, Jessica. But I asked John to take me before the show started. This green tea statement was meant to annoy me and to show the audience that she has a good relationship with John. She is better at clinging to powerful people than anyone else. I shrugged and thought it didn't matter. Coming to this place is like playing around. In the end, Tom and I teamed up, along with the mysterious guest who didn't show up. Vivian cheerfully said to me, Jessica, good luck to you all. I nodded and replied lightly, What are you pretending for? Did Vivian give you face? Petty, definitely unhappy that John chose Vivian. Before we set off, I kindly reminded. John, you should still take this talisman. It's better to believe it exists than to not believe it at all. He glanced at me lightly and said, Sorry, I don't believe in these things. You can keep it for yourself. Gee, this silly kid. If you don't listen to the advice of the elders, you'll suffer the consequences right in front of you. Ha ha ha, our John won't fall for this. Jessica, don't get involved, do you have any shame? Tom stepped out to help me. Sister Yao, let me take the lead. It's my first time in a place like this, and I'm quite nervous. All right. I handed the talisman to Tom, and then the two of us set off together. We hadn't gone far when we heard a scream. It was Vivian. 4. Tom asked me, what's going on over there? Yao Jia, should we go take a look? I asked him to wait, and then I calculated a divination. What is Jessica doing? It seems like she is doing divination. Does she really think she is setting up a stall under the bridge? How could my son be in the same group as her? Oh no, we must guard against her, or else it will lead to misfortune. It's done. It's okay. Vivian was scared by the props from the production team. The worry on Tom's face did not diminish. He obviously did not fully believe my words. Are there any sisters from the live broadcast room over there? Please share what's going on. Jessica is right. Could she really be able to predict? Hey, use your brain a bit. This is a horror live broadcast. What else can scare you besides NPCs or props? I glanced at the bullet comments and said, there are colorful balloons in the women's restroom that their group is looking for. When Vivian opened the last stall and was about to take the balloon down, a fake hand reached out from the toilet. I smirked and said, am I right? This show is quite similar to orienteering. The guests not only have to follow the map route, but also reach the marked locations on the map to find the corresponding prizes. This is what counts as successfully clearing the level. Did Jessica read the show script? How could she deduce this? Is there a possibility that this is part of the show effect? Why do I feel like Jessica, with the god perspective, is a bit cool? What's ahead must be an illusion. Only Tom, looking shocked. He knows that the director of Let's Adventure, everyone, is notoriously stubborn and has a bad temper. Last time, a popular young actress backstabbed him. With a wave of his hand, he cut all of her scenes. This offended the actress's fans, and after the show aired, they caused trouble and gave it a string of low ratings. But the show's high quality couldn't be denied, and it still became a huge hit. As a result, the director earned the ridiculous nickname One Cut Plum. Someone so fearless would never show the script to the guests. Unless I have a particularly good relationship with him, or I can really tell fortunes. Tom would rather believe the former. In the entertainment industry, relationships are particularly good. Those who understand know. Look, Tom's gaze at me has become somewhat subtle. I feel quite wronged. Shall we continue walking? He coughed, nodded, and his expression returned to normal. 5. I strolled leisurely, looking here and there, trying to find all the places that seem off. Why do I feel like she's just strolling through a garden? Not nervous at all. Yeah, where's the show effect? Didn't she just get scared and jump onto John? Vivian has already screamed 3 times out of fear. There is movement around the corner. I picked up a piece of wall plaster and threw it over there. It hit his knee perfectly. A cry of pain came from over there. I quickly grabbed his neck and asked, "Where is the stuff?" "Hey, the makeup is done quite well. It looks pretty scary at first glance. Why do I find this a bit funny? Did someone notice what she just threw at the NPC? It seems to be wall plaster. If your eyesight is bad, go get it treated. How could wall plaster possibly make someone scream?" The NPC reluctantly took out a pack of tissues from his pocket and handed it to me. I have reasonable doubts that these items were casually taken by the director from the staff. To call them prizes is an overstatement. Tom asked me, "Yao Jie, how do you know the NPC is there?" As soon as he finished speaking, he fell silent. Perhaps he remembered that I have a very good relationship with the director. I didn't even turn my head and casually replied, "Just a guess." I can't exactly tell him that my senses are so acute that I can perceive things even if they are hidden, can I? "Come on," he says. He's not a resource person. He must have read the script. I still explained a bit. The production team likes to place NPCs in areas where prizes are hidden. Corners are perfect for scaring people, don't you think? Tom nodded thoughtfully, looking as if he was saying, "Play along with me." So fake. Is Jessica not maintaining her persona now, claiming she figured it out herself? The key point is that you don't believe it either. Just after I complained in my heart, I felt a disturbance. Oh no. As soon as the words were spoken, the screen was filled with comments. "Wow, does anyone know what happened? There's no signal from John's side. I just heard John shout, he has been fighting monsters all this way, and he has never been this panicked. Could it be that something really happened? Impossible, it must be the production team's trickery. I immediately turned around and said, "We need to go back to find John and the others." 6. Tom, confused, said, "Sister Yao, we've come this far. Isn't it a bad idea to go back now?" He thought like most people, believing this was just part of the show. No, they are really in trouble. At first, I only felt a little dark energy around John. But just now, the power of the dark energy suddenly intensified. It must be due to the environment. This place is indeed deceptive. With the situation urgent, I couldn't explain much and directly suggested, "Why don't you continue to advance, and I'll go back to take a look." He looked helpless and said, "We are a team." Seeing my resolute attitude, Tom had no choice but to follow me. "Yao Jie, you took a wrong turn. It's this way." I didn't look back. Taking a shortcut this way can save half the distance. But it's not on the map. Why did she bring my son along if she wants to show off? All the guests should just do what they are supposed to do. Yeah, what is she trying to prove? She doesn't even know the way around here. If they get lost, not only will they not help, but they'll also create trouble for the production team. Tom was panting behind me, shouting, "Yao Jie, why don't we just follow the map? Trust me. I'm familiar with this place." Did Jessica do her homework before participating in the show? Did she come here to scout the location? Bragging without preparation. With her cowardly demeanor, does she dare to come? So do I. So I added, I often watch adventure live streams, and a few streamers have been here. Tom couldn't run anymore and was leaning on his knees, gasping for breath. How is Jessica not even out of breath after running for so long? Why do I feel like my son is holding us back? The camera equipment was too heavy, and the photographer clearly couldn't keep up. "Let me take it, you've worked hard." I took the equipment from him and continued to charge forward. Laughing to death, the photographer is male, and I don't need to say that there's a significant difference in strength between men and women. Does she really think she can run this fast while carrying the camera? It seems like the one in front really can. Am I the only one who thinks Jessica looks a bit good from this angle? Her skin is really nice. It's the lighting issue. Don't be fooled by your illusion. Given the current situation, I can't read the fortune. I can only ask the audience, what happened to John and the others? Still a black screen. A friend who works as a staff member told me that the director is already on the way there, but we still don't know the situation. This little monster doesn't take me seriously at all. How dare it harm others right under my nose? I have to hurry, even faster. Where's my son? Where did he go? Tom has long been thrown thousands of miles away by Jessica. This girl is really something. Whether she's a master is uncertain, but in terms of physical strength, she surpasses both the photographer and Tom, who are both adult men. She must be incredibly fierce. Just as I was about to reach my destination, a closed iron door appeared in front of me. I told you, this road is completely blocked. Jessica just likes to show off and cause trouble. 7. Breaking down the door with bare hands. I can do it, but it's too ridiculous. So I turned around and climbed up the stairs next to me. I have to go around to the 3rd floor to get past this door. However, after going around, there are no stairs down on the 3rd floor. Stop messing around, let's hurry back home. I am not worried at all. I directly climbed over the railing and landed steadily. My basic skills are still there. Wow, what kind of skill is this for walking on walls? Isn't this girl a master? She's a martial arts expert, right? So cool, so cool. Sister, stop setting up the master persona, just be a special forces soldier. After landing, I was about to continue charging forward without thinking. But then I thought better of it and turned back into the ward. I moved some mats and blankets from inside and piled them where I had just jumped down. After doing all this, I spoke to the camera, make sure to remind Tom to jump down from the 2nd floor. I've prepared mats for him, so he won't get hurt. Fortunately, it was a multi-camera shoot, with 2 cameramen following each group. Tom could also see the comments on his side. Sisters, I've become a fan of her. She's really so cool, beautiful, and kind. Sob sob sob. Hey, don't speak too soon. As the comments clashed, I continued on my way. Finally, we arrived at the destination. The situation is not too bad. 2 photographers and one of the guests are lying on the ground, still alive. Vivian is hiding under the table, trembling. As for John, his body is stiff, and his face is ashen. He must have seen the illusions created by the evil spirit. The piece of jade is already in his palm, shattered into powder. Why is there an extra person? Never mind, with such righteousness, they must be one of us. I handed the camera to him. Hold this for me. I was focused on fighting monsters, and didn't notice that the bullet comments had gone crazy. What happened to John and Vivian? What are they doing? How could it be the banquet Shadow Emperor? Didn't he refuse to participate in variety shows? Yeah, I heard he left the entertainment industry for business. Woo woo, this live broadcast is worth it. The production team of Let's Adventure, everyone is really amazing. Wow, everyone, look, the number of viewers in the live broadcast room has exceeded 10 million. Wow. Who still remembers that Jessica was in a group with Yang Zhao? Laughing to death. At that time no one wanted Jessica, and the mysterious guest, now they must be regretting it like crazy. HHH. I bit my fingertip and pointed at John's forehead. Break. He trembled violently, then his whole body went limp and he fell to the ground. The terror in his eyes goes without saying. After all, the image of this evil spirit is truly unappealing. Who has a red cloth? No one pays attention to me. Forget it, let's fight first and talk later. 8. I stood in front of John, using blood as bait, and formed hand seals with both hands. Is John acting? What is Jessica doing? Performing a ritual. Why has it started again? I just started to have a bit of a crush on her. Instead of watching the banquet, best actor, please turn the camera to yourself. Go. The evil spirit was immobilized by this seal. Its combat power is weak. But it is sneaky. It secretly transformed into a tentacle to reach for Vivian under the table. I took off my coat, spun it rapidly, and twisted it into a simple whip. I silently recited the incantation. The coat struck the evil spirit, making a crackling sound. Flames and white smoke appeared in succession. Its howls were piercing. I whispered, "Cover your ears." Is Jessica a magician? Using her coat as a whip is so cool. Sister, hit me. Want to run? No way. I leaped to the window in one step. In a flash, I trapped it with the curtain. It's quite lively. Mortal beings cannot see the evil spirits. They can only see that something is really crashing around in the curtain. Is it a special effect? Isn't there only air behind the curtain? Why is this happening? Can science explain it? I encountered something like this last time, and I don't think it's staged. Jessica is right. This place is definitely not clean. As someone who almost entered a Taoist temple back then, I can say that there are many things in the world that cannot be explained. Just because you haven't seen them doesn't mean they don't exist. At this moment, the staff of the program hurried over. Tom followed closely behind. Director Mai asked, "What is going on?" Yang Zhao stopped him, saying, "Don't go and make things worse." Is actor Yang also getting into character? Is it possible that Jessica is really a master and is actually catching ghosts? Even if she's not catching ghosts, she's really cool. The martial arts moves just now were seamless. This girl is amazing. I looked around and asked again, "Who has a red cloth?" Everyone was searching everywhere. Director Mai looked quite anxious. With so many people, how can we not find a piece of red cloth? Tom asked, "Sister Yao, do red socks count as red cloth?" I raised an eyebrow and said, "It counts." Then, he really took off the socks and handed them to me. Fortunately, what was inside enjoying itself was the evil spirit, not me. I drove the evil spirit into the socks, bit my fingertip, and drew a seal. Then I casually tossed it into Tom's arms. "Your socks, you hold them." He looked terrified, holding the socks, at a loss for what to do. "Don't be afraid, it can't come out. Just put it in your pocket. This spirit wouldn't take a person's life. It has only become ferocious due to the corruption of the environment. It doesn't deserve death. I will go back and perform a ritual for it." What just happened has already exceeded the understanding of ordinary people. Director Mai stepped forward, turned off the camera, and cautiously asked me, "Master, is everything all right?" The respect in his tone was evident. He knows better than anyone else. I have never seen the script, yet every time I can predict things accurately. There is something. This evil spirit was brought in by John from outside, and the ones inside are even more dangerous. As soon as these words were spoken, everyone panicked. Vivian, who had just crawled out from under the table, turned around and went back under the table. I calculated a divination with my fingers. Nothing will happen today. Director Mai finally breathed a sigh of relief. After listening to me and putting his socks in his pocket, Tom asked, "Sister Yao, are you really a master?" I shrugged, "That's about it." At that moment, I met a pair of calm eyes. 9. It is Yang Zhao. His appearance barely reaches the level of beauty in the cultivation world. I finally understand why the original owner admired John. His brows and eyes have a bit of Yang Zhao's shadow. No wonder. Yang Zhao, whose real name is Yu Zhao. As for the original owner, her real name is Yuan Yao. And she is a veritable rich second generation. The Yu and Yuan families have been family friends for generations. According to seniority, the original owner should call him little uncle. Since she was young, she has had an indescribable feeling for this little uncle. Even changing names to venture into the entertainment industry is to follow in this person's footsteps. Yang Zhao smiled lightly, a yao, long time no see. I was momentarily stunned. This voice, this feeling, is very much like someone I know. He called me like this too. A yao, a yao. Every time, it was serious. Yet, there would still be moments of unintentional tenderness. It must be an illusion. He is living well in that world, how could he possibly come here like me? I touched my nose and said, it has been a while since we last met. As soon as these words were spoken, everyone was stunned. How could Jessica, who has been in the spotlight, possibly be connected to the famous actor Yang? They seem quite familiar with each other. Tom couldn't hold back and asked, Sister Yao, do you know Teacher Yang? I nodded and turned to check on the 3 people who had fainted. They have all regained consciousness now and are fine. Just as I was about to breathe a sigh of relief, I heard someone shout, John, John. John was still slumped on the ground, his eyes vacant. I drew a talisman and asked, is there any mineral water? The staff quickly brought a bottle of water. I recited the incantation, and the talisman in my hand ignited out of thin air. Everyone was dumbfounded. What principle is this? TSK, such a small basic skill can astonish them like this. I stuffed the talisman into the bottle and handed it back to the staff. Shake it well, and let him drink. Director Mai came over and asked me, Master, can the show continue? Is there any problem? Yes. It's fine. The third group is almost at the finish line. I thought for a moment and said, it's best to act together. John's group still has a little more distance to cover. The shortest route is to follow their path to the end. Everyone turned on the camera to live stream along the way, which counts as completing the show. Director Mai also agreed with my opinion, nodding and saying, then let's do as the master said. But I keenly noticed that Director Mai subconsciously glanced at Yang Zhao. Only after confirming that Yang Zhao had no objections did he say to everyone, all right, then let's continue. Vivian immediately exploded with anger. In this situation, how can we continue? Don't you care about the guests' lives? Director Mai frowned and said, Miss Ren, the matter has been resolved. The live stream was suddenly interrupted. We have to give the fans an explanation, right? A deputy director echoed, and with Master Xing here, nothing will go wrong. Vivian glanced at me with disdain, saying, what is she? Who knows if she really solved it, or is just pretending? The deputy director retorted, you saw it just now. Yeah, but this place was never clean to begin with. Even if she solved one problem, what about the others? Director Mai said coldly, if you don't trust her, you have to trust us. There is strength in numbers, we will all walk this path together. Vivian crossed her arms and looked around, clearly pointing out her stance. It's easy for you to say that. Can I be the same as them? How much do they earn in a year? How much do I earn in a year? If something really happens to me, can you take responsibility? Because of these few words, there was a hint of anger on the faces of all the staff members. In Vivian's eyes, is it that income divides people into classes? With her poor acting skills, what is she really noble about? Thanks to the Let's Adventure Everyone program team, I've unfollowed, and I will continue to criticize them in the future. So Jessica really can catch ghosts. Oh my, that was not part of the show at all. I admit that I just cursed a bit loudly, but the master is generous and will definitely not blame me. Does anyone know what happened during the 5 minutes when the camera was off? 10. Director Mai knows how to create topics. He didn't know when he turned the camera back on. Just now, Vivian's words were clearly heard by the audience. When people are in fear, they tend to become powerless and furious, and then make some statements that lower their intelligence. Yang Zhao, so what do you want? Call the police and say it's haunted here, and have them come pick you up. Do you think they will come? And how many people will come? Vivian was stunned by his retort, and couldn't speak for a while. Yang Zhao didn't give her another glance. Let's go. If she doesn't want to leave, then let's just wait here. Damn, Yang Ge is indeed Yang Ge, this solution is satisfying to me. I don't understand what Vivian is being pretentious about. Everyone has to leave from here anyway. It's just a matter of adding another camera. The one in front probably wanted to play the victim to get the director to give her more money. But unexpectedly, she ended up losing out, ha ha ha. At this moment, Vivian finally saw the bullet comments. She then realized that the conversation just now had been broadcasted. In an instant, her face turned pale. She opened her mouth to explain, no, this was intentionally arranged by the production team. Before she could finish speaking, the cameraman turned the camera in another direction. I'm sorry. I won't take up your valuable time any longer. You should go earn more elsewhere. Ha ha ha, the photographer will say more. Vivian must be so angry that her face is about to twist. Before we set off, a little assistant came to ask me for a talisman. She had a sad face and said, I'm still a bit scared. What if there are too many people when we start walking, and I get left behind? I wasn't stingy and immediately drew a talisman for her. It was fine not to draw it, but once I did, it became a big deal. The staff spontaneously lined up in front of me, waiting to receive the talismans. John was also among them. Thank you, Master. I raised my eyebrows, surprised that one day I could actually hear those two words from his mouth. It's quite fresh. I deliberately asked, awake. Do you need a talisman? He nodded, looking a bit awkward. Ha ha ha, at the beginning of the show, didn't you say you didn't believe in these? LOL. Is John's fan still proud? This time, your brother is rushing to get involved. I handed him the talisman, saying, this talisman can protect you for a moment, but not for a lifetime. The one who ties the bell must untie it. He turned his back to the camera, his expression stiffening. After softly saying thank you, he walked away. It's all done. Almost everyone has a talisman. Oh, the banquet has not started yet. I thought for a moment and drew another one, just to thank him for helping me hold the camera. The team set off. Vivian naturally did not dare to linger, fearing both the wolf in front and the tiger behind, and ran to the middle of the team. Yang Zhao and I walked at the front. He was calm and composed, seemingly unafraid. I handed him the talisman. For me. His expression was calm, but there was clearly a hint of brightness in his eyes. I nodded, yeah. Just in case. He accepted it. Put it in the left upper pocket of the shirt. The place closest to the heart. Ah Yao, how do you know these mysterious arts? Ah, what did Yang just call the master? Ah Yao. I also heard a very ambiguous title earlier. In front of the camera, how can he not hide our relationship at all? But what confuses me even more is his gaze is calm, without a hint of inquiry. As if he is just asking me what I had for lunch today. Like, he doesn't care about this answer at all. Or perhaps, he already knows the answer. I suppressed the questions in my heart and blurted out, I learned it from my grandfather. My grandfather is a Taoist. The original owner's grandfather can't really be called a Taoist at most, he is an enthusiast of metaphysics. When he was young, he liked to visit various masters at Taoist temples. When he got older, he simply moved into a Taoist temple. This is also why the original owner was photographed coming in and out of the Taoist temple. She really was just looking for her grandfather. Anyway, this was said for the audience, to answer their questions. They don't understand the original owner's family background. As for Yang Zhao, he can believe it or not. I see. He smiled faintly. Ah Yao is really young and promising. It seems there is no news. The smile is very fake. I inexplicably feel a bit spoiled. What's going on? So sweet. Stunning movie King X metaphysics master, who ships whom gets hooked. It's an upper-class love story of AA. I'm shipping the iMedicine CP again, sisters. Not far after I just walked out, I noticed something was off. This place, we just came from here. 11. Yang Zhao frowned slightly and looked at me. Clearly. He also noticed something was off. His insight is simply amazing. I shook my head slightly, signaling not to alert the enemy. Oh my, is it just my illusion? Why do I feel like they just passed through this place? Wow, I feel the same way. Could it be a ghost wall? Didn't Jessica say it was fine? Everyone was a bit anxious. I spoke to reassure them, don't be nervous, there won't be any problems. That thing has no malicious intent. It just wants to lead us somewhere. Just keep walking. No one had any objections. After walking for a while, Vivian challenged, how much longer do we have to walk? We've been here for the third time already. I ignored her. She simply ran to the front, gripping my wrist, and kept asking. Jessica, can you do it or not? Can you find the way? Are we going to get out of here? Goodness. Her palms were all sweaty. She talked tough. But she was terrified inside. Since her image has already been ruined, Vivian stopped pretending and simply gave up. Jessica, if you can't do it, just say so. I'll find the way myself. Is there anyone who wants to go with me? No one paid her any attention. She felt embarrassed and stomped her foot. Fine, if you all aren't going, then I'll go by myself. I smirked. Do you know who dies the fastest in horror movies? Yang Zhao seriously replied, the one who is alone. Correct answer. The wife sings, the husband follows, I drops YYDS. If it weren't for the fear of the production team being held responsible, I wouldn't care about her life or death. Vivian shot me a glare and ran up to John. John, let's go together. John firmly rejected her. No, I'm with the master. Ha ha ha, John's transformation is too funny. Just a few hours ago, he looked down on it. And now he's directly become Jessica's die-hard fan. Ha 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 ha, John is really into it now. Vivian is so malicious, seeking death herself and dragging others along. What is her intention? Seeing that no one supported her, Vivian stopped making a fuss and returned to the team with her head down. I'm happy to see Vivian get her comeuppance. After walking for an unknown amount of time, we finally saw something different. In the center of the empty room stood a dry well. On the ground, a huge pentagram was drawn. The dry well was right in the middle of the pentagram. Sudden. Weird. This is what it wants us to see. Is there something in this well? The runes carved on the well have been partially scratched out by someone. No wonder. I softly said, come out. A plump, white-bearded mouse popped out from the side and bowed to me. The fat mouse has become a spirit. What mouse? That's a grey fairy. The outrageous things I've seen in today's live broadcast are more than what I've seen in the past 20 years. Thanks to the production team, thanks to Master Xing. It's all the grey fairy's doing. It was it that led me here, and it was he who destroyed the talisman on the well. As for the reason, it lies within this well. Sure enough, it pointed at me, then turned around and jumped into the well. Tom looked surprised. Sister Yao, is it trying to teach you? It really is. You all wait here. I'll go in and take a look with it. Director Mai looked worried. Master, please don't act rashly. Before he could finish his sentence, I had already flipped over and jumped into the well. 12. The well is not deep. I quickly fell to the ground. Jing Bian Mai shouted, Master, are you okay? A few beams of light flashed by, and I replied, I'm doing well. The well is bone-chillingly cold. And there is very heavy. The strange occurrences in this hospital are all because of this well. The layout of the hospital has been altered by someone, specifically changed into a. And of this is this well. There are countless runes in the well. As far as I can see, they have all been scratched. It was also done by the. It held a stone and crawled in front of me. Let me smash it. It nodded. This is not needed. I was not polite and directly started to chisel. Chanting a spell, I struck the wall with my palm. The red bricks in front of me cracked inch by inch, revealing the densely packed bones inside. It was shocking to behold. Indeed, it was dark magic. Director Mai, report that there are human bones below. The Grey Fairy brought me here to break the evil spell. After this hospital was abandoned, it was utilized by those with ulterior motives and transformed into a place of gathering for dark forces, digging wells to kill and binding souls with collarbones. The purpose is to achieve immortality. Director Mai asked, Master, the police have been called. How did you come up? I leaped up and stepped on the protruding red bricks on the wall. After walking a few steps, I emerged from the well. The Grey Fairy followed closely behind. Wow, what kind of lightness skill is this to float above the well? So amazing, so amazing. Director Mai smiled so widely at the camera that her face almost blossomed with joy. Dear audience, let's wait together for the police to arrive. Let's see what the situation is here. The number of concurrent viewers in the live broadcast room has already exceeded 50 million. And it is still climbing steadily. The last time there was such a spectacle was during the World Cup final. Director Mai saw me come up and looked at me eagerly. Come, Master, what do you think? How could a well suddenly appear in the hospital? And how could there be human bones in it? Also, this posture was akin to that of a news anchor. I deflected him with a single sentence, let's wait for the police to come. The authorities will provide a definitive statement. What we say may not necessarily be recognized by the public. This reminds me of the red-dressed boy incident, it's so bizarre. Oh my, is this a script? Isn't it silly to think that this is a script when the police have already been called? Before the police arrived, I spotted a sneaky figure. You all wait here, I'll be right back. Director Mai pulled the cameraman, what are you waiting for? Chase after them, the audience is still waiting to watch. 13. Little thing, you run pretty fast. I jumped up and kicked him right in the waist. Great, he fell flat on his face. He lay on the ground, suddenly raising his wrist and throwing something from his hand. So you want to play dirty, huh? Can't dodge, the photographer is behind. Getting hurt by this talisman is serious. Wounded soul. At worst, it can lead to idiocy. At worst, it can lead to death. I casually picked up the stretcher by the roadside and blocked everything. The talisman fell on the stretcher, emitting a pungent smell. Taking advantage of this moment, he immediately got up and ran away. I directly threw the stretcher in my hand away. It just happened to hit his thigh pit. He fell to his knees with a thud and couldn't get up for a long time. I rely on the master, who has some skills. Is this the killer? I walked up to him. He is a young man. He didn't do it. At most, he is just a small fry. I grabbed the back of his neck and said, where are the others? He glared at me with hatred. Not going to say, huh? I chanted a spell, pointing my index finger at his forehead. His expression visibly twisted in pain. Rolling on the ground, large beads of sweat flowed down from his forehead. In less than half a minute, he was lying at my feet. I said, it was all my master's doing. He killed people in Qingshan town, and he also repaired the well, all for the sake of immortality. I'm really just a guard. Is that how it was resolved? Not even Conan would solve it this quickly, right? Master, please accept my knees. Master, are you still accepting disciples? I have an extraordinary bone structure, and am a rare talent in metaphysics. From now on, I will be your dog, Master, woo-woo-woo. Meanwhile, Director Mai was almost splitting her face with laughter. This is just the first episode, and it has already become legendary. The live streaming topic has long dominated the trending search list. Master Jessica. Ridiculous Jessica. Live broadcast alarm. Jessica is awesome. Jessica solves the case. Banquet eye drops for Jessica. The true face of Vivian. There are too many highlights, each one is enough to make a hot episode. 14. The production team all went to the police station. As soon as I finished the record, I dashed straight out. Still hoping for immortality. I must turn him into char siu. Just as I arrived at the police station, the back door of a Maybach opened for me. Get in. It is Yang Zhao. How nice, a driver delivered to my door. I excitedly got into the car. Is there something? If not, take me somewhere. Aren't you hungry? Let's go home first. I'm going to uphold justice, and you ask me if I'm hungry. Do you still want to take me home? Then I might just get off the car. As soon as I touched the car door, he grabbed my wrist. The palm was warm. But I was suddenly startled. He silently released his grip and spoke in a low voice. This is a society governed by the rule of law, and naturally, it has its rules. You can't always solve every problem your way. Does he know I'm going to fight? I stared straight at him. This face was clearly unfamiliar. The sparkle in your eyes and the tone of your voice make me feel extraordinarily familiar. I pressed my lips together. It's you, isn't it? Master. As soon as the words came out, I regretted it. A sudden wave of panic surged from the bottom of my heart. I was afraid to hear his denial. Forget it. I admit my mistake. He smiled slightly and gave my nose a gentle poke. In an instant, the ice and snow melted away. That's correct. Feast morning extra. 1. Ayao died in the 10th year of my becoming the sect leader. She died in my arms. Before she died, she asked me, Master, am I making you proud? Her expression was lively, just like in the past. I nodded and said yes. Then I watched helplessly as she turned into fragments in my arms. Her spirit and form were completely destroyed. Her soul was shattered. 2. Ayao was picked up by me from a pile of beggars. Rather than saying I picked her up, it would be more accurate to say she came to me on her own. She has been as tough as a piece of toffee since she was young. She hasn't been easy to deal with as she grew up either. She is quite mischievous. The spirit beasts raised on the mountain have all been troubled by her, and they run away as soon as they see her. 3. Ayao is beginning to show her talents. She is indeed a rare talent. Master, I really envy you. I glanced at her. Her smile was somewhat mischievous. I asked her, what do you envy about your master? You are about to become the #1 master in the world. I deliberately put on a stern face. Do not be arrogant or impatient. She pouted and quickly ran away to practice her swordsmanship again. 4. I finally noticed her thoughts and began to intentionally avoid her. However, she directly expressed her feelings to me. This child is always fearless. I rejected her and instead accepted the goodwill of others. On the day of the grand wedding, Ayao burst in with a sword, blood splattering the wedding hall. Master, you have been alone for decades. Why must you get married at this time? Master, what are you afraid of? She asked me what I was afraid of. Fear of the world's gossip. Fear of sinking into despair one day. After that night, Ayao never returned. Later, I heard she went to the demon realm and became a trusted aide of the demon lord. The next time we meet, it will be the battle between immortals and demons. She betrayed us on the spot and perished together with the demon lord. Everyone knows my little disciple loved me, but could not have me, so out of love turned to hate, she chose to become a demon. Little did I know, this was a scheme from the very beginning. For the sake of the lives she cherished, she transformed herself into a demon. Then she wielded her blade and struck down her own kind. 5. After she left, the river was clear and the sea was calm, and the world was at peace. After her death, the world began to praise her and worship her. I suddenly felt weary. I raised her in the dragon lantern, shaping her soul. After raising her for many years, I finally nurtured a fragment of her soul. I placed this fragment of soul into the cycle of reincarnation. With each lifetime, a part that belongs to her would return a little. For 3,000 years, I waited for a full 3,000 years. Finally, I waited for her to return. The world has long changed its appearance. It doesn't matter. I will find you. Postscript. Later, the show Let's Adventure, Everyone became a sensation online. The topic remained highly discussed. After the evil path was captured, they were sentenced to death. The identities of those human bones have also been thoroughly investigated. Dozens of missing person cases were also solved as a result. The police even specially presented me and the production team with certificates and bonuses. I was also awarded the title of Enthusiastic Citizen Master Shing. As for the others, Vivian's reputation has plummeted. In an instant, he fell from the clouds into the mud. I don't know if he offended someone, but I heard he hasn't worked for a long time. Later, he was put on ice. No news ever since. As for John, he publicly issued a statement. He stated that his once award-winning new song was copied from a friend. That friend of his is the evil spirit I have subdued. That night, John called me. His tone was one of relief. Master, I can finally get a good night's sleep. Pretty good. Stolen things are ultimately not yours. As for me, I won't be a guest anymore. As long as I go, both the guests and the audience will slack off. The highlight of the show was originally the challenges, but as soon as I appeared, the focus shifted to stealing people. Everyone wants to be on my team. It's quite boring. So I switched to Behinthison's work, helping director Mai with location scouting. Of course, it's for a fee. I am thriving in the entertainment industry, making a fortune. Yang Zhao said I am money-minded. I glared at him and said, I just like money. What's wrong with that? He looked helpless and said, Yao, what's mine is yours. All right, the whole world knows you have money now. I rolled my eyes. He leaned closer to my ear and continued, I'm also yours. All right. So cheesy. The end.